DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, hope you're all well. And it is Thursday. No, it's not Monday, but still, it's going to be a tag day. Everything went kind of different as the normal pattern was. I usually wait for Jasmine to bring out the tags, the Monday tags, but Jasmine's tags were later this week, and I was not able the other day. So anyway, here we are on Thursday, and I have just finished doing Jasmine's tag, and we'll now move on to Dave Nicholson's last Saturday 7-question tag. And hi there, Dave. Hope you're doing well. And as you've probably noticed, I have not, for most of you who think I watch vlogs all the time, I do a lot, but this week I've not been very faithful. I've had so many other things. Question 1. What would you do if you made a mistake and somebody died? Oh, that's a horrible question. Well, I'd be shattered, that's for sure. I don't know if there's an easy answer to that. Depending on how it happened, what type of mistake, the relation you have with the person's family or whatever, would you be into the reparation? Would you be, every case would be different, but it would certainly shake me, that's for sure. And I think anybody would say that they didn't feel terrible would be lying. I mean, especially if it was through mistake. Sometimes, some mistakes are, how could I say? Some mistakes are casual mistakes, that would make it even worse. Some mistakes are that you made I don't know, it was a very important decision, and you knew that the chance was maybe 50-50 or maybe 80-20 or whatever, and it went the wrong way. You'd still feel bad. You know what I mean? There would be variations. Yeah. Not easy. Yeah, I feel horrible. Question 2. Who do you trust and why? Close members of my family. A few friends. Only a few friends. And why? Well, because we have over the years created that bond of trust that we know that we can go to them with anything. And so yeah, that's about it. And things can vary. There have been people in my life. There's some working going on over there. There have been people in my life which I thought that I could trust. Some friends, and finally I couldn't. No, that can happen. Question 3. If you were forced to eliminate every physical possession from your life, with the exception of what could fit into a single backpack, what would you put in it? What type of situation would force me that? To go into forced immigration at war or something like that? Because otherwise there's no situation where I would be forced to do that. Well, I was going to say my papers, meaning, in other words, my passport and stuff like that. I would probably put in, if possible, I'd put in my phone, my pad. Like I say, because all those things would be my memories, so there'd be pictures and stuff like that. I'm certain I'd put in a change of clothes. What else? Every physical possession. So it wouldn't even be worth to be able to put in my car keys, because I couldn't put the car in it. So what else? Well, if I put maybe my camera? I don't know. Yeah, that's a crazy question, actually. But it's one of those questions that people, every now and then it happens. We had an incident where there was a cliff that came down very quickly, and people had been told basically pack a bag. It's like pack a bag. That's what we're just talking about. What do you put in pack a bag? And some people put their most precious memories, because everything else you can buy usually later on if it's just pack a bag. But so maybe it would be something like that. Yeah. Okay, question 4. When does silence convey more meaning than words? Oh, quite often actually. When people are grieving, um, Christians, for example, have a sad tendency, of trying to pull out some verse, when somebody's really in pain, a hug, and even telling them, I feel for you, or whatever, or just a hug sometimes. I've had people where they've told me, I'm glad you didn't say anything, just needed you to be there. And so more often than not, so many times like that. But quite often it will be grief or discipline. If you're a parent, and there are times when it's better for you to shut up, because if you pull out those words, they could be the words you do not want to say or will regret saying. So it's better for you to be quiet, and actually in those times, be quiet might even say more, because it shows restraint, but it doesn't mean that it shows approval. Yeah. So those two, I guess. Question 5. How do you spend the majority of your free time? A lot online, I guess. Even reading my books, newspapers, and watching anything, it's always online. Mostly now. It's very rarely a paper book in my hands. So I guess we could say with a screen, but that screen is usually my iPad. Yeah, I think my iPad has become the device I use the most. So that's where I spend a lot of my free time. That's how do you spend? That's actually, I should qualify that. If it's nice outside, I like to go out and walk, actually. And then, how do I spend it? I'll be walking, listening to a podcast or something like that. But if it's free time inside, probably would be. And something? Sometimes it's just chatting. Yeah. I've noticed that Mrs. DC and I, we don't like always the same shows on TV or things. I don't watch TV much, but we'll sit in the sitting room, and she'll be watching usually a crime show or something, and I'll be doing something on the pad, and then we'll just kind of like talk every now and then, within commercial breaks or something like that. Old couples do that, Yeah. Okay. Wonder if I'd have answered that the same thing as a newlywed. Anyway. Okay. Who do you think of first when you think of success? Who do you think of first? Nobody really. I don't actually think of somebody particular when I think of success. Nobody comes to mind, in the sense is that I don't actually think of somebody with regard to success. Usually success in the purest term is very often is going to be due to hard work or something like that. So, yeah. No? Something? I don't actually think of people in that respect, in that way. Maybe an answer will come later on, but nothing does now. Yeah. And question 7 and last. What did you want to be when you grew up? I wanted to be a medical doctor. No, I did not want to be a cop. No, I did not want to be a fireman. I actually wanted to be a medical doctor. Well, I ended up being the doctor part without the medical in front of it. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what I did want to be when I was younger. Um, life, I was going to say, things went other ways, and I'm pretty happy it went other ways. Yeah, yeah. So that's it. It is, yes. And in this case, I am pretty much time to swap. I'm over to 10 minutes now. So now, bit DC signing off. Take care, everybody, and well, already Thursday, so have a good what's left of the week.